What is up, guys? It's me, Random, with another Random Live commentary. And so, guys, this is a little tutorial on how to fly a jet. Like me. Because I'm pretty bossy at flying jets and helicopters. I'll do one about helicopters in a minute. But I will explain basic stuff to you guys. So, step uno. And this is just gameplay. This is not me live. This is post-record. Learn how to turn first. What you do is when you're fully horizontal, just think of it putting your hand out. When you want to turn, you put yourself vertically. That's where you turn, like giving a thumbs up. And you pull to the left or you pull down to the right. It doesn't even matter how, it doesn't have to be above. You point in the direction of, again, on the top of your jet or below your jet. It doesn't really matter. You just fucking go. I would like to be in a cockpit view. When you're doing this, try to get used to the cockpit view rather than third person, because you're going to need to know how to shoot. So know how to turn first, not fast. Just know how to turn in general. Know how to do barrels. Know how to do loop-de-loops. Know how to fly upside down, stuff like that. But don't try to use the afterburners. Don't use the afterburners until I tell you. Listen to me. Okay. Now, why I don't use afterburners? Because I like to keep my speed around 300, which is the fastest, just around 300 to 350 speed, which is the little box on the top left. If you see it right there, it's around 300 right now. The one on the right is your altitude, which is around 100 right now. The highest you can ever go in altitude is around 1,000 feet. If you go any higher, you'll stall and you kind of just sit there. It's kind of annoying because it's kind of a bitch to get down. So like I said, back to the afterburners. What I use the afterburners for is, well, I use them to get away from missiles in case I flare. Like, let's say there's a bunch of faggots using stingers and or like a jackass helicopter that won't leave me alone. I tend to use if I use my flares or my ICM jammer already, I kind of use the afterburners to fly it out of the map as fast as I can, until my flares work again. I like to use flares rather than ICM jammers because usually people will kind of just test. The trick to using your guided missiles is to let the person waste their flares first, and then you just tap the triangle button or the Y button again to reset your guided missiles to lock on again, and you just shoot them down from there. So I kind of use the flares because when I hear the missile coming at me, I use the flares, and that gives me enough time to turn around behind them. That reverse psychology. Yeah. And that's what I use. Now, once you know how to turn, you know how to use your afterburners for the right situations. The fastest you can ever turn, which most people complain about, is like, how do you turn so fast? Oh, you're hacking. The fastest you can ever turn is when you're turning right to where you're in your vertical and you're starting to pull, right in that pull area when you're pulling your analog stick. Try to hit the brakes around and keep your speed around 300 or 310. That is the fastest you can ever turn in this game. That is the fastest you will ever be able to turn. That's the sharpest you can turn. And then once you're kinda past your turning point, then I use the afterburners to get, fix myself a little bit stronger. But it don't matter. You're always gonna end up right behind the guy. Let's say you're behind some guy's behind you. You turn, use that 300 power turn, and you kind of end up right behind them pretty easily. And so once you practice around with that, learning how to turn at 300 speed, you guys can, I can even get you in a lobby, and we'll both practice with jets. I mean, we'll just be in a game lobby, just flying around, and I'll pretend I'm the bad guy, and you try to, get behind me and stuff like that. I hate it when those assholes trying to steal our jets, or not steal our jets, steal our helicopters. They fly a jet, drop out, steal a helicopter. Anyway, and so aiming, how do I shoot the shit out of them? Think of it like using an LMG. When you're aiming, usually just shoot. Use the crosshairs. Don't use that little dot, because that little dot's very tiny to see. And usually I'll end up kind of close behind them if you know how to fly. Like, let's use this as an example. Actually, this guy was pretty much of an asshole because he just kept doing all this other stupid tactic. But usually when you're around here, try to shoot in front of him, because the bullet, you're flying in the air, the bullets will just kind of like draw back. That's the only difference between about this game and Call of Duty. But enough about that. The bullet, just shoot in front of him, and shoot in front of him. That's it. And just keep shooting him until he turns on fire, until he gets vehicle disabled, and keep messing around with him. That's how pretty much aiming You know, keep your jet steady. Make sure you're right behind him. Don't try to shoot him. Try to shoot him when he's flipping around and stuff. The best moment to shoot him is when he's turning. When he's turning, that is the best opportunity to shoot him because you have a wide target, and you shoot him in the ass, and you know he'll poofed. When you want to attack helicopters, helicopters are a little bit annoying because they kind of move, they kind of stand still, and we always kind of overshot our targets. With a helicopter, just hit the brakes as you know, just keep holding the brakes, and you just, you know, just kind of don't try to stall. Just hit the brakes and just make sure you shoot the fuck out of him. Make sure he doesn't look at you too, because like he might have a buddy with him and you know just shoot you in the face, and you know you will have a big disadvantage. And what I like to do, like as I'm doing now, is scanning for tanks or just scanning in general. When I use rocket pods, and you can actually look at my turning. I'm behind him. Because most players don't know how to see how he's trying to turn behind me. He's very slow, and I just kind of like hold on to the brakes, and this is where I end up behind him. Hit the brakes if he's going too slow, you know, and just keep shooting him. And he ejected because he was a vagina. Like I said, scanning for tanks. What you do is you hit the select button on your controller. Just keep spinning. See how I just marked them? It's called highlighting, but you press the scanning button or the highlight button, and it'll highlight them, and you can see them obviously. Even when he's not in your vision, you just turn around on him, and you'll see him. And this is how you know that's how you find your targets. You can do that on helicopters, you can do that on the ground, you can do that on tanks, and you just catch people. And you see that's how you attack a jet. See, my speed was around 100. I mean, not a jet, helicopter. My speed was around 100, and I had to slow down. And unfortunately, in this lobby, I get kicked out by the administration. The administration was a complete faggot because he was a little vagina, probably flying in a helicopter trying to steal some kills. And with the rocket pods, if you guys are interested in using the rocket pods, especially in helicopters, I'll explain that. But if you notice the big little, oh, see, this is where I get kicked out. I was confused. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong? But the little bar that looks like an L, or kind of one of those things that you'd use the quotes in or something like that. Little bar. That's where your bullet's gonna go. Those are where your missiles are gonna go. And same thing for the gun that you normally have with the jet. The little dot is where your bullet's gonna go. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope hopefully you enjoyed this video. Give me some comments and questions in case you guys are interested, and add me as a friend. Bye.